Make you the host? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that way I can like annotate and write stuff.
Oh shoot, I just made you allow record. Hold on. Uh, make host. Yes.
Sweet. All
You're the
right.
host now. Good?
Yeah.
Nice.
Let's see here. How you doing, man?
Not bad, not bad, not bad. Just trying to, I was gonna um, just play around with like putting in PowerPoint and camera, one being the webcam camera and putting it on. But I remember you said you have to put it in PNG format or image format or something like that, or for the to save as images. Can a PDF form of a PowerPoint be the same thing and put that in OBS?
Yeah, I mean, you have to basically download the PowerPoint slides as images. So it can be JPEG, I believe. It could be PNG file. But I think typically, if I remember correctly, you just need to, yeah, I mean, you just need to save as
Okay, so
and, and export
so
it.
okay, then would PDF be fine as well, or because it's just kind of a bunch of images that way?
PDF won't work because PDF is only good for like, printing. Like it's good to typically when you do PDF, it's great for like signing documents, and you don't want like your client or another person to edit the document without permission. And so it has like really good like restrictions for that, but also it keeps like the resolution of your graphic file intact, right? So let's say that you sent stuff like when you're making your stationery for your business or anything, right?
Yeah.
Like you typically want to keep it in PDF because it's easier for the printer to format and just keep it like standardized as opposed to like a Word doc where they can accidentally click on something and then it just stretches stuff out. Like you see what you see, you get what you get. So
Okay. Okay, that's good to know. So it does need to be in any of those images. Just save as.
yeah, yeah, it's meant to be a photo so that you can select through like the slideshow itself.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah,
Okay. So what we're gonna go over today?
yeah. Yeah, today I thought we can talk a little bit about like content management,
Okay.
and how we do it. So like just to kind of review a little bit, last week we went over like we went live stream, right? We got it live, and you knew how to do all the controls already now from OBS, and then whatever we saw on the OBS gets translated to what people actually view on YouTube when you share it and distribute it with people, right?
Right.
And
Right.
so we talked about preview, how the preview allows you to really like understand if frames were being dropped or if the sound is matching your face or not. Like those are things that you want to be able to check for, right, in the preview.
Preview.
And yeah, and then once it goes, and once everything looks good on the preview, the sound is good, the teaching is good, the slides are loading properly. Then you can actually go live, and then you push everything live, and then you let the show move up according to what scene you want, and then you end the stream, and that's your finished product, right? That's the finished lesson, or that's the finished. In our case, it's the finished sermon series. I mean, for that particular Sunday that we're
Hmm.
working on, right?
Hmm.
So today we'll talk about content management is and how we do it. And the purpose of content management is basically like now that you have the finished video, you have the finished product, what are you gonna do to organize your channel in such a way that you want your end user or your client or your customer or your congregant, in this case, our Trinity family,
Yeah.
how do they access this, and what is the best way to arrange it so that they can access it quickly? Because depending on your demographic, you want to be able to, at any age, really access it. As old as 80, they should be able to click on their phone, check it out, or they're 16, they should be able to check it out. So those are types of things to think about, right?
Okay.
Um, so yeah, I'll start sharing my screen,
Brain.
and then we could jump in. Okay. All right. Actually, Can you see my screen with all the YouTube stuff?
For a second, I just lost it. Hold on. Yeah, I see it now.
Okay. Is it just one screen or is it multiple screens?
One screen.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Channel dashboard.
So yeah. So this is my YouTube channel, but we'll switch it to Trinity's.
Yeah.
Um, all right. So now we're on Trinity's channel, and typically this is the channel that you and I look at, right? Like whenever we finish the video, we want to be able to know, like, oh, what videos have we posted in the past? We would go to videos. We would go to playlists to see what types of playlists that we have.
Mhm.
And then, you know, you got subtitles. You know, you can actually subtitle your lessons too. So
You can?
different types of things. Yeah. I believe it's automated, but you also have the option to actually like put in different languages as well. You know, someone, let's say
Oh,
that you wanted to do your
right.
lesson in Korean or whatever, or Chinese or whatever, and you
Yeah.
hired somebody to subtitle each part, and then they could update it for you. So
Oh,
that's
okay.
pretty neat.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, monetization. This stuff is great if you have a lot of subscribers, um, but it'll allow you to basically like get money, right? So a lot of people live off of their YouTube income if you break 1 million or whatever followers.
How does you, let's just say you did that. Does YouTube, where do they pay you through? Like, how do they pay you? Like a check or something? Or?
Yeah, yeah. So they'll typically send you a check. I'm sure you have to like input your bank account, and so they'll probably do like a direct deposit of some sort to give you royalties for your content, basically. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So today I'm just gonna kind of hit on like three like topics, right? Like asking a question like, what is the goal of our channel? Because that's a pretty important question that you have to kind of revisit over and over and over. Because you can look at so many people doing so many different things and like, oh, should I do this? Should I do that? But if you have
Uh-huh.
just one central question, like, what's the purpose of this channel and what am I trying to do? It helps you kind of narrow down like the scope, right?
Okay.
And then we'll talk about video description, which is like why is that important? Why um, you know you want to be able to fill those out. And for Trinity, we're in the works right now. We don't have a perfect description. I'm still in the works of like filling that out, populating uh, descriptions for each video, even for our music videos, like things like that. Like why should we do that? So we'll talk about that, and then we'll talk about categorizing the content, right?
Okay.
So those are kind of three aspects. Yeah. Questions so far, Davis?
Yeah, no, that sounds good.
All right. So it's a little confusing because sometimes I find myself switching a lot, like back and forth from studio to content to like to customizing channel and all that type of stuff. There's so many different like pieces, and it gets a little confusing. Two of the main um, pieces right now that we'll look at is the difference between the studio, right? So we just came from studio.youtube.com, and we also went to this is the main YouTube channel space,
Okay.
right? And the two purposes they kind of overlap each other, which is really confusing. It's like some of it looks like it feels like an afterthought in some ways as they're improving the design, but typically whenever you want to ask the question, like, what do my subscribers see, right? You would need to go to where you can customize your channel, right? And the way that we do that is you go to the top right-hand corner, right?
Okay.
You can select for YouTube Studio, which means like you deal with the inner workings of your videos, your live stream, things like that.
Yeah.
And then you go to your channel, which is the page that we're on. This is more of the purpose of this page is so that this is where you engage your customers. This is where you engage the congregation. When they go and they type in Trinity Presbyterian Church of OC, this is exactly what they see, right?
Okay. This is
Right?
for the public consumption. Yeah, this is it.
Right. For the consumption. And you can see this, you know, this is a church. I'll show you this church. This is a church that Eric and I used to go to in San Diego. And you can go and see their page. They have a lot of subscribers. It's a huge church, right? Like over 1,400 people now.
Mm.
You know, when we left, um, but you can see how they optimize their channel, and you can see how like there's only uploads, right? You go to their channel, it's not as intuitive, you know. They're well-meaning. They post it it works, right? Like obviously it works because people, you know, there's 793 views
Mm.
for that video. It's a huge congregation, so obviously it works, but it's not functional, right?
Right.
Like,
Definitely could be better
you know,
organization.
it could definitely be better. And I'm sure my friends at Redeemer would be like, "What the heck are you commenting on this?" But for the sake of this, we will because they're my friends. Let's take a look at what they're doing. So it's helpful. You know, they've organized it to Sunday services, and it's great. You know,
Uh-huh.
but and you can see like the production quality on their video is very high quality, right?
Okay.
It's a lot better than ours in some ways in terms of worship, right? It's like super professional, right?
Mm.
And that's wonderful. But that's not the question that we're wrestling with today. We're not talking about camera equipment, lighting equipment. We're not talking about that. We're talking purely the customer slash congregation experience when they're looking at your stuff. And
Channel.
if
Yeah.
they're coming to learn and they see your channel, it's difficult to find stuff, then it's just going to be more frustrating, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the purpose. So you can see for ours, we broke it up into the three different categories right now. We have sermons.
Uh-huh.
Right? We got gospel renewal stories, which we're hoping to increase like more stories. And we
Uh-huh.
have music, and that's pretty much it, right? So for many other churches, they have many different types of ways to break it up, right? Uh,
Okay.
but for you, you might start thinking, right? Like first answering the question that we talked about, which is what is the goal and purpose of your channel, right? So that's the first part. And the goal and purpose for our channel is to distribute and share the gospel with everybody, right? To share the teaching of the gospel, share the encouragements of the gospel, and how can we like do it specifically so that they know people in Orange County can be blessed and can be transformed by it, right? So that's the purpose of our channel. It's
Okay.
very simple.
Yep.
Um, and then the next part to really think about too is like what types of graphics do you want to display,
Mm-hmm.
right? And again, there's so many different churches that you can look up. But the idea for us is that we want to be able to display different types of graphics that pop out, right? Another channel I can give you, another one that I really think does it well is like Church Home, right? They're a bit more flashy, right? They're a bit more flashy, but you can tell, like if you observe on here, you can see how they have a picture of a face, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they generally have like a very clear, you can see the title with your eyes, you're drawn to want to click on it.
Mm.
Whereas like if you go to like my channel, our missionaries channel right now, I have not updated this as much or as fast. I made all my mistakes here. So by the time we built our Trinity website or our channel, I've learned a lot from my mistakes, right? Like my channel sucks, right? Like it doesn't, it doesn't have any type of graphic on there, right? Like you can see how like Sunday, I don't even know what it says, right?
Yeah. You're
It's not
right.
even clear, right? I have it here, like I have the missional living on here, right?
Yeah. It's
But
better.
again,
Yeah.
think about that, right? As humans, how God has made us, like we're just drawn to faces, we're just drawn to people.
Good point.
And this one has no person. And it's like, it's cool, it's clear. It's better than nothing, right? It's better than nothing. Um, but if I pick between Diane and Gavin versus like missional living, I probably would click on Diane, even though there's no words, right? So
Right.
something to think about, right? So as you're thinking through the design and you're thinking through the layout of your channel, you want to think about the aesthetic, and knowing, like if you have an eye for design, but I know Alice has quite an eye for design, right? So she'd be a good person to really think this through.
Right.
So like uh, when you create the experience, you want to think about, obviously, is it intuitive, right? And then the next is like, is it aesthetically attractive, right? Not that it's everything, but it makes it easier for people to find, because you ultimately want people to find the information they need and to be able to like access it in the most comfortable. Not that you should try, but you should. You know, it just gives you a leg up in terms of just learning retention. Because the more frustrating it is, people remember nothing.
So
So
are we going to go over like how to make those sections as sermons, gospel renewal story, music, and how to organize all that stuff?
yeah, we'll cover all that today. And um, next week we'll talk about how to make these graphics.
Great.
Okay, so
Awesome.
I'll walk you through it. And the reason
Yeah.
why I wanted to do it early is because I'm going to bring on Ashley Viscara, because she's going to
Yes.
actually like learn alongside too, because I'm training her up too to design some of the social media graphics and thinking through like how to do this together.
Yeah. Perfect.
So
Perfect.
yeah,
Perfect.
yeah. So that's something to look forward to next week.
Great. 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 Great.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
So let's talk about a little bit, let's dive deeper on this page. And typically, as you're thinking through, so again, you're thinking through what is the purpose of my page?
Yep.
You need to know what it is. And for us, again, it's meeting
Target audience.
spiritual, theological, famine aspects of our community.
Yeah.
And so obviously we want sermons and we want gospel renewal stories and we want music. And then how do you add these? What does it take to do this? And so you go onto this button right here called Customize Channel.
Okay.
Right? Not YouTube Studio, but actually customized channel.
Channel. Okay.
It'll be frustrating if you go down Studio and keep looking. There's nothing there. But anyways, so when you're on a blank page like this, I might have to do this on my channel to show you. It's a little easier, but typically when you go onto your page, there shouldn't be this many pieces yet, right? It should be just blank, but
Okay.
you want to go to where it says add a section.
Okay.
And when you add a section, it gives you many different types of things that you can add. You can add popular uploads. You can add uploads. You can add posted videos. You can add past live streams, right? You can add a single playlist, saved playlist, multiple playlist, posted playlist,
What are
subscriptions,
those?
custom grouping. So many different types.
What is a multiple playlists and posted playlists?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the way that I have our channel set up for Trinity is that I have it set up by single playlists, right?
Okay.
And each of these pieces, like I have sermons, I
Yeah.
have gospel renewal stories and music. Those are all playlists that I've created. Okay.
That's just the video, basically.
Yeah. Well, actually, it's not even the video. It's just a list. And then in that list, I can highlight or push certain types of videos that I've uploaded in the past into the playlist.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So I'll give you an example. So let's go to playlists, which is at the top.
Yeah.
You can create. This is where you create new playlists, right? So for you, just give me something like the category that you would teach in your channel. What would you do?
Oh, how about something's about taping lecture or
Taping
taping.
lecture, okay. So I'll
Athletic
just
taping.
call methods on taping, right? Or something like that,
Yeah,
right?
sport taping. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Uh-huh.
So we'll create that, and so you'll see that it has a playlist that's available now. And so
Okay.
there are no videos on this playlist
Mm-hmm.
yet,
Right.
right? And so you can make this playlist setting, you can make it allow embedding, you can actually add new videos at the top of the playlist. I mean, there's a lot of different things.
What is embedding? What does that mean?
Yeah, that's a great question. So embedding means that every time you have a video that you upload into YouTube, you want to be able to share it with other people, right? And so typically when we think about sharing, we think about the link, right? That you can take that link and you can share it with people. Now there's another way that you can actually share, and that's called embedding. And embedding basically means that you take that video and you can put it into your website, right? You can just place it into your website. And when you visit the website, you can see that there's a window and your video is just placed directly on your website, even though it's not hosted in your website. It's hosted on YouTube, but it's playing on your actual website.
How do
So
I link my website to that embedding of that video on
so
YouTube?
typically with every single video, they give you an embedding code, and you take that code and then you paste it into your website.
Anywhere in the website? Like,
It depends on your WordPress, right? Since you're using WordPress, in our case, we're using Squarespace. It depends on your content management system, right? If you're using Squarespace, then you have to inject the code,
okay,
right, according to the restrictions of what that content management system can do. So the website manager can do, right?
okay.
Okay.
Just give them that code to, if Alice is managing the website, she would be able to, if I give her the code or if she gets the code, then she can embed it put it into somewhere in the WordPress, whatever
Correct. And it'll
website.
show up on the web page. And so that's the idea of embedding. Now, the reason why you would want to turn off embedding is, let's say that your content is paid, right? And
Oh,
you don't want that to be shared with
for free.
everybody, right? Let's say that I run a physical therapy clinic next door, a competitor, and I'm like, oh, this is a great video. It's not protected. It's free.
Thank you.
I'm just going to take that and, put it on my website.
Got it.
That could be a good thing too. you know,
Yeah, more okay. More
like
views,
that's
right?
just free advertisement, right? But like, you
Lemonades,
can see,
lemons. No, I got you.
yeah.
Okay, okay,
So
okay.
that's what embedding means, okay? So let's go back. We'll go back to
The
method.
second thing besides embedding, you said, what was the other thing? I
The
could take
other thing is just to add
that.
new videos to the top of the playlist, and that's just more of a preference type of thing. Like as you load in videos, you can tell it to load the newest being on top so that people can see it when
Oh,
they're
okay.
scrolling. That's
So
not,
what? Uh,
yeah.
what
I mean, you just load a video and it'll instead of like sorting it and accordingly to the way that you want it, it'll sort the newest video on top.
okay.
Okay.
Is this so defaults to no? Is that what it's saying, kind of?
Um, yeah, it defaults to no. It
Okay.
defaults to no.
Do you want?
I
Yeah.
don't do that because typically sometimes if I update a video and I forget that I forgot like another video and it was like sequentially out of order.
Yeah.
Let's say that I uploaded like an older video from like 2015 and I want that to be like number one, like to
Mm-hmm.
move in a chronological order. And so that's problematic if you upload a new one and it becomes number one instead.
Got it.
But it's more of what you want, right? So that's a minor point.
Okay.
So again, description, you can add a description in here to tell people what the heck this playlist is, right? To kind of let people know what this channel section is about, right?
Okay. Yep.
And then once you finish that, you could click on it. You can click on it to your left. Actually, let me see here. You can, I believe you could edit it. Yeah, so you can change the title if you need to go back and change it.
Can you add just a video or just a sample? It doesn't have to be taping, but even just something from the Trinity website, like just walk me through just.
Yeah, we'll do that right now, actually. Yeah. So again, you can share it. So this is a link to your playlist, right? So that's important. If you wanted to share all of the sermons to people, you can actually share the playlist itself as
Okay.
opposed to like sharing individual sermons, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, let's go to the playlist section. That's like video. Let's see here. All right, so you go back to the three dots.
Yeah.
You go to playlist, and then you go to advanced settings.
Okay.
You can tell if this playlist is public, unlisted, or private, right? So imagine if you had a whole series, right, that you want to like keep private for just the church, right? You don't want information to like be disseminated, or like information that's only private for a certain number of people to view, like a deacon training or something like that, or for your case, maybe certain students can view it. You
Mm-hmm.
can, again, you can do a batch, like this is more of like a batch hidden, right? Or make it private. and then you can save it, right? So we'll do unlisted because we don't want to. This is just a test, right? And then the cool part is I think you can collaborate on here as well. So, but for our sake right here, you're asked a question is like, how do we add a video? You just literally go to add videos, right? And once you go to add videos, you could go to your YouTube videos, and then you can look for the videos that you want to be added to the playlist. You see it?
Yep.
And so it gets added, and then I think it says add new videos, top of playlist, set as official series for this playlist. I mean, you can do a lot of different things.
What does
right?
that mean?
So this one says use a setting for sets videos uploaded to your channel as part of the official series. A video cannot appear. It says a video cannot appear in more than one series. YouTube may use this information to modify how the videos are presented or discovered, right? So like if you have one playlist and you want it to be uniquely on one playlist,
Okay.
then it'll stay, right?
Okay.
But we don't have to do that. Well, I'll just do that. I'll just add that, and it becomes the video for this particular thing, right?
Okay.
And when you make it public, when you actually make this list public, it actually allows it to show up, right? So you go back to home, because we didn't make this playlist public, it's not going to show on here.
Okay. Okay.
Now you can go back to the playlist itself. So methods on taping. We'll change it back again. So playlist settings, advanced settings. Change it to public. So it's a public one now.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
And then you go to home. And so now what you see is it's not there.
Okay.
Right? It's not there.
It's not there.
The way that you want it to be there is you have to go to add a section.
Okay.
And then go to single playlist. And then you can have like vertical list or horizontal row or whatever you want. But I want to choose from my playlists.
Yeah.
And find the playlist and see where it says methods on taping.
Yeah.
Select that. And there it is. See how it shows up? Methods on taping and done.
What if you wanted that list in between gospel, renewal stories, and music?
Yeah. So.
Or at the top if you wanted
right.
it.
So you would go. Let me see here. You would go to this button. Let me see if I could annotate. So you go to a button right here. It's not labeled here, but you just have to hover over it, right?
Button.
Yeah, and click on that button. So here, you see how it comes out?
Yeah.
So you would hit that little arrow.
Okay.
And it slides up, right?
Okay.
And that's it.
No way I would have found that one.
No, it's actually confusing. It took me hours and hours to figure out, heck, like what is wrong? Because there's no training video on how to use YouTube.
Wow. Yeah.
Like, so
that's so like, yeah, it's like, oh my gosh.
It's not intuitive. It's not intuitive at all. So, heck, like, yeah. But anyways, so after you find that, you could edit it, right? Right. You can edit it. You can do vertical list instead. But anyways, I'm going to delete it. But the way that it works is you can have horizontal row or you can have vertical lists. And vertical list looks like this.
Okay.
Right? It depends on what you want. But I like the horizontal row. It looks great.
Okay.
And press done. Right? And that's it.
Great.
So those are kind of like the basics, right? For us, like we have the upcoming live stream, so we have that piece in there. What that means is, like, remember how last time that we created upcoming live stream? page?
Uh, I don't
Here, I'll
remember
show
that.
you. I'll show you what that means. So this is kind of like things that you want to do. If you want to add that section in, it allows your people or followers or clients or whoever to anticipate and be able to know that, hey, you have another live stream coming up, but it's not next tomorrow. It's in a couple of weeks, and they can subscribe, or they could set a reminder so that they know that they can access it later on.
Okay.
And I'll show you how to do that right now. So what we do is we go to live,
Okay.
go live at the top right hand corner, like so.
So you were at your channel, and then you had to click to go live, and it
Correct.
took you to studio.
Yeah. Well, I didn't click on studio. I just, here, I'll go back. That little camera icon
Yep.
right there, click that, go live.
Okay.
And once you're going live, it's going to pop up what you had last week, right? And so for us, we had, the previous stream was on generosity, and I'm going to reuse it because I want to reuse the same live stream key that I had from last Sunday.
Right.
So
And you
I'll
said to
go to,
keep doing that. Okay.
yeah,
Keep
you'll keep doing
reusing.
that. So that's super convenient. You don't have to retype anything, it's the same information. Just reuse it. But you have to go in, and obviously you want to change the channel. I
Yeah.
mean, change
Change
the
the name.
title.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a Sunday worship live stream, and I usually put the date in there. So the next one is on the 24th.
Okay.
May 24th, 20. It'll be on the 24th, and it's 10 a.m.
Yeah.
And I don't want this thumbnail. I want a different thumbnail, which I need to go find again. Let's see here. Nope. That's wrong one. Wrong one. Nope. Forgot where I put it. Yes. I don't even follow my own rules, right? Like, you need to organize everything, otherwise you waste time. Like what I'm doing right now. Where is that folder? but yeah, so you know, uh, that's not it either. Oh, there it is. So last time we talked about how it's super important to put everything into your folder. That way you're like, boom, done, right? Like, you just know where it is.
Yeah.
So it's not the Trinity background, it's the graphic. And then I'll add it. And then it replaces the main one. Okay.
Okay. Now I can't see what else you're clicking on. All I see is that new stream center box thing.
Oh, you didn't see the little boxes that came up?
Oh, no.
Oh, you don't? Okay, let me see if I can change the way that I share. All right, can you see everything now?
Yeah, I can see now.
Okay.
I can see the pages. Okay, so.
Okay. So you see my little box?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you want to be able to find like the folder that you store your graphics in there.
Okay.
So I know mine is the Trinity graphic I made.
Uh-huh.
So you want to stick that in there, and then you can create.
Okay.
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 So that will create, and what's great about it is now it's loaded. So now you're ready to have a live stream again. Okay. So let's go back to our page and see if there has been any changes that has been made to your channel. Okay. And again, easy.
Okay, I'm here to tell you.
You go to your channel by selecting here, and you select channel right here, and it leads you. And sometimes YouTube takes a little while to update the thumbnail graphics, so don't freak out if last week's thumbnail shows up like so. Right? So you and I clearly changed it, but sometimes the data takes a little while for it to update.
Okay.
That's why it looks like a duplicate, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Now, that upcoming live stream and the information, does that get sent to the subscribers via something?
Yeah. So whoever is subscribing, so we have 66 subscribers, 66 of those subscribers will get a notification.
Just by their email address or something like that?
Yeah, just by their email address or wherever they have, or their YouTube channel subscription will notify them, hey, there's a live stream coming up to one of your subscribed channels.
And then, okay, so you don't need to know their email. It'll automatically go to them if they're a subscriber for your
Yes.
channel.
Yes.
Okay.
So I don't know all their information. Some people that subscribe to the channel, they're hidden that information, right? So I
Right.
don't have access to that.
But it
Like,
will
for their
go to them
privacy.
if they subscribe to this channel, even though you don't have access. YouTube will still send a notification because it's a subscriber to your channel. Hey, there's a live stream coming up. Is
Correct.
that right? Okay.
If they want it. If they want it. If they don't want it, then they won't get it.
Oh, so as part of their settings, they may not say, I don't want any.
Yeah, no
things or-
notifications. Like for me, I don't have any notifications because I don't want to deal with all that. Like
Right, yeah,
all
okay.
of like the distractions and stuff.
Exactly. Okay, okay. So
And
it still hasn't changed yet. Do you
yeah,
refresh or no?
right. Okay.
Oh,
So
there it is. Yeah, it
yeah,
changed.
so those are the kind of like the ways in which we edit the user experience, right? When you're looking at it, you're looking for where is it located? How do I get access to it?
Okay.
And that's kind of how you deal with this page on the basic level. Now there are two other distinctions to think about. There are returning subscribers. There are people that are already subscribed to your channel who know you, who believe in your material.
Yeah.
That's for returning subscribers, and then you have for new visitors,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And so for new visitors, when they first join the channel, this is kind of where they see your trailer, what your channel is about, what the purpose of this channel is about, why is it posted. And for us as a church, I don't have time yet or we haven't really made any type of like video trailer or anything like that, but that's what the purpose is for. I've just put in Diane and Gavin's thing in there because it looks good and like it allows us to be able to see what the church is about, you know.
Mm.
But in your case, it would be like, what is your channel about, right? There's a physical therapist channel that I follow, like Bob, and you might have known them, Bob and something PT, something.
Oh, yeah, the most famous PTs in the world or something like that.
Yeah, but he's like, yeah, Bob and Brad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you've seen this channel, but they have like many different things in here. They have over 1.9 million subscribers as a physical therapist channel. And you can see like they have very similar setups, right? Like popular uploads, right? Uploads. Right? But then you can see how they talk about like the Bob and Brad crew or created playlists, right? Like 10 series and sciatica series or plantar fasciitis, like whatever, right? Like they kind of break it up into different videos, right? To many, many, many different like types of topics, right?
Mm.
And again, you know, very similar to what we've talked about. Notice how like the words are really big. You know, they're very, you know, easy to understand and attractive to look at. You know, I'd say that one of the best ways in which, you know, you design your channel is to pick your favorite channels that you respect, channels that you feel like, man, they offer really good material. And then to figure out how can I emulate, if not imitate them.
Okay.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with that. You're not trying to like steal information or whatever, but just to be inspired. Right. Because there's nothing new. Honestly, like YouTube, like there's nothing original about YouTube. You know, like everyone's stealing stuff from each other. I wouldn't call it stealing. It's just borrowing, being inspired.
Learning from each other.
Yeah, learning. Yeah. You know, everybody does that.
So that for new visitors, does that automatically come on or do they have to click that? Hey, for new visitors, click here and then see an intro video of.
Yeah, that's a great question. So for new visitors, it's not, it automatically comes on, you know, if they notice that you're not a subscriber, if the channel, like let's say you type in Trinity Press OC for the first time, and for new visitors, this is what you'll see. See this interface right here, right? You'll see Diane and Gavin, you'll see upcoming live stream sermons, things like that. So I'll go back to my channel so that you can see your channel. This is what they see if they are a returning person, right?
Okay.
But let's say that I'll go incognito, and so that we'll see it fresh without being signed into anything. So Trinity Presbyterian. So you can see that we're located at the top. So we'll click,
Okay, I'm here
and
to
you
tell
notice how it loads up Diane's story.
Okay.
Then the upcoming live stream. Now it's updated. No longer Eric's face
Yep.
on the generosity, and it has sermons and gospel renewal stories and music. So you kind of see like how every piece is kind of linked out like that.
Depending on if you're a newcomer to the site or to your channel, or if you're a returning person, it's
Right.
going to pop up at least on that top part.
Yeah. So
What's
you kind of
coming
want
up.
to redesign it based on who your, what, because the video that you want to introduce to newcomers may be a little different to the video that you want to display to, or even want to display a trailer again. They already know what you're about. They're already following you.
Yeah.
Like there's no reason to like make them rewatch it again, So
Okay.
things like that to think about.
Okay.
All right. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, so that's the big question of categorizing the content, right? By series, by topic, featured videos, trailer, playlists. I mean, these are questions that for your clinic, I would think a trailer would be like testimonies, right? Like video testimonies of like athletes, people that you have like helped recover, and how they felt really supported and cared for, and so those are things that you want to be able to include in that type of video, right?
Mm-hmm.
How you have helped inspire them to keep going, or things like that, right? You want to be able to like capture those moments and display it, right? Because the channel is more of the trailer is more of a teaser for what type of value that you can bring to the viewer. Right?
Okay. How do you change the top graphic?
Oh, like up here?
Yeah, how do you change that?
Yeah. So this is another important question, right? So again, this is a great question. So what types of graphics do you need in a YouTube channel, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you need two. Typically, you need the banner cover, which is the top part. This is what they typically call the channel art, or the banner, right?
Banner. Okay.
And the recommended size is 2500 by 60. I mean 2560 by 1440. So that's the pixel size, right? The pixel size means that when you upload a particular piece of art or graphic into here, you want to be able to section it in kind of a weird way, because my monitor is it's a 27-inch monitor, right? And so I'm able to view this thing in a large way. But if I have a 13-inch MacBook or whatever, the resolution and aspect ratio will change. So this is more of a design question that we can talk about next week. In terms of like, why do we size things a certain way? Why do we arrange things a certain way? Because you want to optimize it for multiple devices and multiple platforms, right? How you view your channel will not look the same when you're on your mobile device. It will not look the same when you're on your laptop. It will definitely not look the same when you're screencasting to a Roku or some sort of set-top box like Apple TV or whatever. So those are types of things that you want to take into account as you're designing, or having your designer craft your graphic.
So but you said you do want two graphics in particular.
Right. There's two, right? I'm oversimplifying, but there are two main graphics that you want to think about, and that is the cover.
The cover.
The cover, the top banner, the cover.
Yep.
For your channel, and your YouTube graphic, right? Your actual video graphic. What comes in to the thumbnail itself.
Got it.
Right? And those things have different aspect ratios. So obviously you can't just make like, oh, this is a cool banner. Like I made this one right here. And if you were to stick that into the cover, it just it just will get cut off and look kind of weird, you
Yeah.
know. So you don't
Okay.
want that.
Okay.
All right. So to go back to your question, which is like, how do I change the graphic for this? Is you just literally click on it. Click on the
Uh-huh.
graphic when you're logged in. There's a little camera icon, or you can just click on the channel art, and then you can upload it.
I see.
Okay. So you just upload a file on your computer, and it'll upload. And you can upload like this. I'll just upload for an example so that you can see it.
Okay. Yeah.
And so what you'll see is they'll give you three sizes. They'll give you the desktop, they give you the TV, they give you the mobile, and then you can adjust the crop. Make
Okay.
sense? So
Yeah.
the crop in the center is most likely what you'll see on the top,
Okay.
right? Whereas as large as this is, that's most likely what you'll see on the TV because the resolution's much bigger,
Yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
So those are things to think about, right? So you can adjust it according to, do you want this part showing? Do you want that part showing?
What about the mobile size, if it's for a mobile size?
The mobile size is here. Let me see. Let me do that again. So I'll upload it with text so it's easier to see. So I'll take our traditional thumbnail graphic and I'll just upload that. Notice
Okay.
how things are getting cut off already?
Yeah. Yeah.
Look how it's on TV. It's amazing,
Perfect.
right? Perfect, right? But when you look at the mobile,
Yeah.
it's awful. That's because this is getting cut off. So
Okay.
this little thing right here is basically what you see on your mobile, right?
Okay.
That little box right there.
Uh-huh.
So what you want to do is you want to create a graphic that kind of fits with both the mobile and also on the desktop. So you have to minimize whatever you're making on the inside.
Oh, okay.
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 But that's kind of it. I mean, that's really super easy in terms of uploading it, letting it sit there. It's kind of like when do you use MailChimp for your services, Davis?
Not MailChimp, another one. I forgot what it was.
Close Contact or whatever number. There's
Oh
so
yeah,
many.
Constant Contact or something.
Constant Contact.
It's
Yeah.
not that one either. It's something
Okay.
else. Yeah, but I know what you're talking about. It's one of those.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all of the same logic, right? Which is, what is my thumbnail size? What is the optimal size that this template needs? And I need to ask my designer to cater towards that particular design. Okay?
So how do you, real quick before I forget, I was going to ask you earlier, how do you delete a video?
How do you delete a video?
Yeah, let's just say out of the sermons, oh, you know what? This is for some, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, so the best way right now to delete a video is to go to videos. So you would basically go to the top right-hand corner.
Okay.
Go to your channel if you're not already on there. So here, this is our channel, right?
Yep.
Go to the videos tab. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can see the different types of videos. So you can actually click. Oh, sorry. You can actually here. Let me see here. Actually, it's not here. Here is an area that you can actually add videos into your playlist. So there's many different places that you can add your videos into a playlist, not just that other location I showed you.
Okay.
Okay. But I think if you go to customize channel, and then let me see here. Yeah, even I still forget. I have to click around for because it's not as intuitive as you would
Keep you on
think.
your toes now, David.
I know. Please do. Please do. Let me see here. Okay. So I think it's on the other side. So I'll go back. To make it easier. So I always forget. So typically, I guess the way that you can think about it like this, just to summarize, is like when you're in the YouTube channel, it allows you to effectively manage like the aesthetic of what your channel looks like. Okay. And then to manage the interior content of what you're making, deleting, giving access to people, things like that. you want to go to the YouTube Studio.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll select YouTube Studio again, and then to the right, left-hand corner, go to Videos. And once you're in Videos, you can see every single video that you've ever uploaded.
Okay.
And you can look at the analytics, you can look at everything. And to your question is, how do I delete a video? You would hover over, go to those three dots, and then you can delete forever.
I see.
Right? And let's say that you want to get an actual physical, not physical, but like a copy of it so that you can put it on a thumb drive, and you're going to a conference center that you know has poor internet and you don't want to be streaming, so you want to go there and download any past live streams to show people or whatever, right? You can go and download here, right? And typically it takes about a day, I'd say, for our live streams to be able to like fully process that you can do that. Okay.
So wait a day.
Yeah, like about 24 hours, I'd say. I mean, from what I've seen so far.
Okay.
You know, it might be shorter for like shorter videos, like 2-minute videos might be shorter, but our services are 1 hour and 30 minutes typically. And so they take a little while for YouTube to process completely before you're able to download a copy of it.
Okay. And then if you wanted to delete it, but you want to download it first, keep it, have it, then you could delete it forever.
Yeah, you can do that and delete it forever. Yeah.
Do you happen to know offhand if that thing had 10,000 views, then those views get taken off of your total amount or something like that, or it's been credited as 10,000 views towards your total viewage of all your channel?
You're saying like if like now if I'm understanding you correctly, are you asking if the views for that video contributes to the number of views that you have on your channel as a whole, or you mean for that particular video?
Yeah, so if it adds up, if it contributes to your channel total as a whole, and then if you take it off, does that number go away with?
Not that I know of, but that number isn't.
Like, let's just say the one video I want to delete had 100,000 views.
Yeah.
I want to delete it for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Delete it.
I don't, as far as I know, I don't think it affects it. I think there's a separate counter that measures how many hours your views have been on your channel as a whole.
Oh, I see. Okay.
You know, that may change. That may open certain thresholds for you to be able to do certain things on YouTube that you wouldn't be able to do if you hadn't had a large following.
Got it.
But to answer your question, I don't really know if it contributes or takes away from that overall number, but I do know that YouTube gives you a report every so often how you're performing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're getting a report for Trinity, is that right?
Yeah, through our email, our Trinity email, and so it'll send you like, hey, you got like 700 hours viewed up to this point.
Oh, I see.
You know.
Is it like once a week they send that to you, or what?
Roughly, yeah. I've seen it sent like about once a week. I'm sure you can increase the frequency for when and how much you want to see that. Okay. So what you see here is that there's two. There's uploads and then there's live. Okay. Now live is different than uploads because obviously live is, you know, you're pushing out information. And but it takes a little while as well. But let's say that you wanted to share, like this is typically I go into this view and I start adding my videos into specific playlists, right? I can batch add, I could, you know, add more than one. I could edit my videos, like the descriptions here as well, you know, and then I can add it on multiple things, you know.
Are you adding keywords to each sermon for people to search better? Or
yeah, so I add like tags, right? Like hope, Jesus, Orange County, peace, depression, church, California, dying, suicide, wholeness, like all the types of keywords that I want people that are looking for that they can discover our channel.
Oh, so that was in under the audience.
That's in the tags. Yeah. So let me go back. That's actually our next topic is what do we do with video descriptions and why does it matter?
Mm-hmm.
So now that we're in the YouTube studio side of things, let's take a look at like video descriptions. And obviously you can see how every video has a little bit of like a small detail underneath it, right? Our vision of the church, or blah, blah, blah. And in my earlier videos, I don't really have that. And for most of our worship videos, I don't have that yet.
Okay.
I asked Eddie to write a small blurb. He hasn't come up with any ideas yet, so we're still waiting. But anyways, we want to be able to write small descriptions so that people know, like, how or what your video is about.
Yeah.
And typically, one of the best ways to do that is in this view, right? So you can click on the video where the details are.
Yeah.
Once your video pulls up, and this is basically your kind of like your small command center, right? Like you want to add, what the video is about. Ours is like, our vision is to be a church that brings blah 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 stuff on our website, right? To bring social, spiritual, cultural renewal to Orange County and beyond, right? And this is also where I stick in like our website, right? How to direct, because you're directing traffic, right? The goal is to direct traffic to whatever information and provide different information that is helpful for people. I haven't had time to do this yet, but obviously like putting your Instagram, your social on here is really helpful. Your Twitter, whatever it is, if you have one, your Facebook page, that's what I have on there. And then our website. Okay. Some things that I'm working on right now is I really want to add, areas for newcomers, like they're visiting for the first time, putting a connect card on there, right? Ways in which they can interact with the church as a whole. The weekly podcast, where do I go for sermons, or where do I go for like, any type of help or needed things, right? So you can list all of those things. You can hyperlink it. A lot of YouTubers put, affiliated links, right? So like, let's say that you're teaching on how to tape somebody, right? And you have a tape that you love. And you know that on Amazon or on Walmart.com or something like that, or Target sells this particular brand of tape. You can hyperlink it when you join their affiliate program, and you can place it underneath your video. And so that directs students to a product that you trust and that you believe in. And when they purchase that, you get money.
Really?
Right? Yeah. You get a small percentage, but you can imagine if a person hit your, Brad and Bob or whoever, the physical therapist, they put a rolling exercise, a foam board or something like that, right? And they're like, this is amazing, it's great, and people have been like transformed by it. You have 1 million hits on that one video for how to use a foam board, and each foam board that you sell, you earn $0.25 or $1. That's a lot of money.
So if you put the Amazon link to the product on this description and they click on that, if I had if this description was about the taping methods, I put the link of where to get that tape and how to buy it, or where to buy it.
Correct.
They click on it, I would get money through YouTube.
If they buy it.
If they buy it.
Yeah, but you need an affiliate account.
What's an affiliate account?
That's separate. So we can talk more about that in the future, but like that's a different program that you have to use. That's the software that's set up by Amazon for you to affiliate yourself with them so that you get royalties, or you get like commission basically for selling that product on their behalf. I see.
So you don't have to get those arrangements with each product vendor per se. You just go to Amazon.
It's kind of like the same idea, right? Like you go and whatever table or bench or muscle relaxing hammer thing, whatever that you use, and your patient really likes it. They're like, where did you get it? I'll order it for you. But you order it and you can charge on top, right? You're ordering at wholesale or whatever. And you charge, you get profit, right? Obviously, you charge a little bit more than whatever you ordered for.
Right.
But in this case, you're not charging. You're not worried about inventory. You're not worried about any of that. Obviously, your margins are going to be lower,
Hmm.
right? But you'll get the money if they trust your brand, they trust who you are. Now, from a Christian perspective, and from a church perspective, we're not selling stuff.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna put like, hey, here's like all the books written by Eric Kapoor, and like, we're selling these books, and like,
Hair gel product.
whatever.
Yeah.
So we're obviously not doing that, but I can list practical resources, right? Like, here's the ESV Bible that's really helpful for us,
Got it.
right?
Right.
Here's a link to Tim Keller's book from Gospel Coalition website that's really helpful for us. So it gives us the ability to recommend resources. We call them resources. In your case, it'd be products, but resources that we trust. We wouldn't get financial compensation, but perhaps we can bless another ministry in what they're doing and their resources that they're selling.
Got
Right?
it. Oh, that makes sense. Okay. And
So,
then you just added words at the bottom there, tags. You just said Orange County, click, and
oh,
whatever.
not down there. So those tags are different.
How did
Okay.
you make those tags for people to?
So these tags are meant to when you're searching.
Okay.
Okay. Like when you're typing, like, oh, how to wrap arm with
Yeah.
tape,
Yeah.
right? So you want to type in like how, wrap arm.
Oh, I see. Tape.
Physical therapy,
Okay.
right? Something like that, right? Like those are the key words that will bring people to a particular video that's helpful or not, right?
Got
Now
it.
you wanna be able to obviously like tag it appropriately, because you can tag certain videos that people are like, what the? This has nothing to do with whatever topic that you're talking about. And they
Right.
can vote down your video, and
They
that
can,
will deter the algorithm from showing your video.
because what now? What happened?
They can vote down, like thumbs down on your,
Oh,
right? Like, so we tell people, so if you can like the video, like it's helpful, it actually allows the video to be surfaced a lot and easier to be discovered by people. That's why we've been telling people at church, please like the video. Because if you like the video, you're actually helping us with evangelism. You're actually helping us
oh,
be able
I
to
did not know that.
allow non-believers and believers be able to discover what Eric and EC are teaching and what we're going through as a church.
I see. Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
it's very vital. So if you're not liking it, please start liking it.
Yeah. So up goes up, the video goes up, or down, it pushes it down. And less people
Yeah.
have access to it.
Right. And I'll show you what it looks like. So typically when you load the video, you see how only 12 people like our video.
Yeah.
Right. And then the rest is like, no one has disliked this video yet. Right. But you
Yeah.
have the ability to, right?
Mhm.
And it helps. It really helps push the video up, right? You go to Passion, right, with Ravi Zacharias, and you can see how right here, 20,000 people have liked this video,
Mm.
and 748 people dislike it for whatever reason, right?
Okay.
And then you can see how here they put all kinds of stuff, right? They put, a playlist here. They put subscribe. They put follow. Here's Instagram, right?
Huh.
So there's many different strategies to like boost your videos and things like that. Like a lot of YouTubers help each other, right? They tag each other underneath, and they're like, they direct their people into, like, let's say that you knew Brad and Bob,
Uh-huh.
and you're like, hey, Brad and Bob, like, I'd love to do a collaboration, even though you have 0 followers. They have 1.9 million followers. They're like, hey, dude, I trust this guy Davis. He has some really good techniques for this particular type of thing. Like, this is not what we specialize in, but check his channel out, like his video, if it brings any type of service to you. So he can share. You see what I'm saying? He's able to share subscribers with you. Now that's a different topic. That's obviously not what we're talking about today.
Right.
That's talking about more of like a channel expansion. How do I like get more followers and things like that? But for church and for Trinity, we are not interested in that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We are interested we want people to know and discover us because of the gospel, the message that we have, and we believe that it can help people in their life. And so that is most valuable for us. And so we want people to like and share it, not for popularity reasons or to gain revenue, but so that people can be transformed, right? So
Well,
obviously the purpose is different.
right. Well, what about going along with that though? Why aren't the other Redeemer churches? Why don't they collaborate and say, "Hey, well, if you like this, well, Pastor Eric Kapoor, used to be a pastor at and he's up in there and he's got some good messages and blah 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 blah. Here's the link." Like, why won't they do that? Like, if that wouldn't that be effective for everybody? Like, and vice versa. Like, well, here's a link to people in San Diego if you're moving
Yeah,
down. Why
it's
not?
I think at this point it's probably manpower for us.
Okay, but
I
like,
don't, right,
oh, right.
right. So
Create
like,
the
man,
link.
you need someone who's like dedicated to like work on that piece, right? Like getting
But
that
I don't.
relationship to happen,
Oh, I see.
right? So it's more of like a like you need to know or have a relationship with that person or have a relationship with that church, but that takes a different type of skill set and also time resource, right? But for us, we haven't done that only because I don't have the time,
Yeah, okay.
right, to reach out to another church. But a lot of churches haven't done that also is because you need typically you need someone within social media, within your team, your channel team, to
Okay.
reach out, broker that relationship,
Uh-huh.
right? And then have you guys do a creative content piece together to do that.
So, oh, I see. So, okay. So it's more okay. So if the relationship was there, like they won't have the one with San Diego, which you said like that, or you went to the San Diego one, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And then they have that relationship with Eric Kapoor, and obviously because he was there, right?
yeah.
They could technically, if they wanted to,
They could, and you
put our
can.
website, in their link on the server or whatever they want, any of
Right,
the videos they wanted. Hey, if not here, then if you're up in Orange County or moving,
right.
or if you want to hear about other, whatever, you can check out Pastor Eric, who we vouch for, blah blah blah, or whatever on the
You
description
could,
page,
right? I mean,
and then they could.
you definitely could.
Okay, okay, but
Yeah,
they're not for. Okay, I was just curious. That's fine.
yeah. I mean, it depends on how you want to grow the channel, but typically we haven't done that, and I think because most churches are insular, I would say
Yeah. Okay.
they care about their own congregation, not because they are selfish or whatever. It's because like their resources and time dealing with people and worrying about their congregation, they don't even have time to collaborate with one another,
Yeah,
right?
I got it.
And
Okay.
this is not a bad thing. It's just more of a limitation thing, and
Sure.
people really have to carve their schedules out to make it happen. So
Okay. Oh, okay. No,
yeah,
this has been good. This is
yeah.
awesome. Yeah. Well,
So
every lesson's been awesome. So, but it's been pieced in a very nice, orderly way. So I like that a lot. And
yeah, yeah. I'm glad. I'm glad. Yeah. So this is kind of how you do it. I mean, in terms of like updating that description, generosity.
yeah.
And by the way, I don't know everything. I feel like I'm still learning. I'm only a few steps ahead of what you're learning. Like these lessons, I've tried to like consolidate as much as I can. I mean, this is years of just trial and error.
Mm,
But I'm still learning for sure. Like if there's stuff that you discover that's helpful, I'd love to get some feedback too. Like, oh,
okay.
that's not helpful, or whatever, that's not helpful. But this hopefully what you're learning is just the very basic of just to get things started.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
so that's the description portion, okay? So you
Okay.
got the thumbnail section right here. This is kind of where, so I showed you like just a few moments ago where to change the cover,
Yep.
right? This is where you change the thumbnail, which is down here,
Okay.
right? So you can actually select the automated thumbnails that come up, right? So when video is uploaded into YouTube, the algorithm just looks at your video and says, great, I see a bunch of pictures. I'm just going to pick randomly, right? So you can select those videos if you want,
Okay.
or you can upload your own. And all you need to do is just click on that or click on whatever you want, and then you can change it.
I see.
right? You can change it by uploading whatever you want.
Okay.
And that's pretty much it for. And then again, here's the save private, unlisted, public. I mean, obviously, you can do this on multiple things, right? Not just on this page. You can do it on, obviously, when you set up the live stream itself or the video itself. But typically, let's say that you want to go back and change it,
Mm-hmm.
right? Let's say that you, like, to answer a question a few weeks ago, you were asking, hey, I want to show my students this video, but after a week, I don't want it to be shown to them anymore. What do I do?
Mm-hmm.
Just go back. You go back into the video section, and then you go to the edit portion of this.
Mm-hmm.
See this page, go to visibility to the right side, select private. If you only want yourself to see it, unlisted, most likely you're probably going to go to private because that's the next level of like closed.
Got it.
That's it. And then you save it. Well, keep also in mind that as you're uploading videos, and for us, we get hit with copyright because of the music that we play, right? The Christian music that we play has licenses behind them.
Yeah.
And so YouTube has the algorithm to be able to copyright claim.
Okay.
And this is important to understand because from a business perspective, sometimes you want to be able to monetize your video, right? Even for the church, it'd be nice if we can monetize and use that money for like charities or, to help other people or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But in our case, because we're using copyright content, we can't monetize certain videos. Okay.
Oh, because it's because you're using someone else's licensed copyright stuff.
Correct.
Yeah. So you can't monetize it. Yeah.
Right. And also you have to reach a certain number of subscribers and viewing hours to be eligible for that. Okay. So like you have to become basically what they call a YouTube partner to be able to earn money for your videos. And so you gotta, for us, we only have, we've got 66 subscribers out of 1,000 that we need.
Okay.
And then we need 4,000 watch hours in order to qualify.
4,000 watch hours. All
Yeah.
right. Got it.
Okay. So we don't have that. So money's not a problem and we don't have to worry about it. So in our case, right? So that's more of like a small, minute detail that we don't ever have to worry about right now. So these videos, you can take a look, you can promote it as well. Like we can take a video and we can pay YouTube money to like advertise that video, right? Like whenever you go to YouTube, you always see like masterclass, take a lesson, or like Epoch Times or whatever the crap that they're just like putting up all the time. Someone's paying money to have that being shown, right? So you could select certain videos, your trailer, something like that, to like advertise to a specific demographic that you want to target.
Oh, okay.
Right. So again, that's a broader conversation in terms of how do you monetize a business and stuff like that. But for the sake of our tutorial, that's not what we're doing for our YouTube channel.
Yeah. Okay.
But I think that's it.
Yeah.
You have any questions so far?
Yeah. Try to digest it, watch the video again, or our lesson again, tinker, figure it, just play and yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
think
good. It's good to know what it's available, how it's there, how it's set up, that you can set it up a certain way, the graphics, just all these things, just the description, how that plays into it, and even keywords, and that's all really, really good. Actually, that helped out a lot.
Yeah. No, I'm glad that you are starting to.
Oh, I gotta get going.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Well, next time I can talk to you about the graphic design, portion of it.
Ashley, or is that going to be separate?
With Ashley. Yeah. So is 2:00 okay for
2:00 on Friday? Yeah, that's fine. I'll put it in my. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll do like 2 to 3. Get that in, and then I can walk So there's other topics that I'll talk about too, which is management. You
Okay.
know, we haven't talked about that. That's an IT portion.
Okay.
So far, just to give a quick review again, we've talked about how to live stream,
Uh-huh.
right? And we've talked about what to do within YouTube, the basics of YouTube to get that live stream to go out to the audience.
Yep.
And for today, we've talked about organizing, right? Organizing the actual content, the different types of products and services that you show to
Right.
the audience.
Yep.
And then next time we'll talk about graphic design, which is like how to get things to pop, which is a different conversation altogether because that's more of an aesthetic design question. And you may be the person to do it, or you find someone who's gifted in those talents to be able to do it, or you can train someone to do it. And then the fifth portion is more of an IT question, which is more of your IT guy or whoever.
Okay.
Which is like, how do I manage permissions? Like, let's say that I have a YouTube team. I don't want them deleting my videos without my permission. Let's say that you made someone mad at church or the company, and they're like, I will destroy your collection.
Uh,
You don't want to do that, right? But people
Yeah.
do, and people do stuff like that, and people are sinful. So the question of how do you give rights, and hopefully that's not a problem that you'll have to do, but just giving
you always want
access.
to be prepared. Yeah.
Yeah, you want to give editing privileges, you want to give administration super user powers that they can change everything, or you just simply want them to organize your playlist, and that's all that you want them to do. How do we break that down, and how do we give those credentials out? And so that's not those concepts are not just true for YouTube; they're true for any business that has any type of technology or information organization that they need to take care of.
Okay.